So in today's session, we will discuss about mesh analysis using matrix method. In the previous session, we have discussed about mesh analysis. There we have written the various equations and then we solved it using the usual method. Now let's see if there is any other simple method, because solving the equations are or writing the equations are rather difficult. It is very easy to make mistakes, right? If one sign goes wrong, then the whole problem will go wrong, right? So we will see if there is any other method. So that is what we are going to see in this matrix method. So let's consider a three mesh network which is shown here. You can see I have marked the three meshes, that is 1, 2 and 3. And here the current flowing through the mesh 1 is taken as I1. The current flowing through the mesh 2 is taken as I2, and the current which is flowing through the mesh 3 is taken as I3. Now all these three currents I1, I2 and I3 are assumed to be flowing in the clockwise direction. Okay, so we will be analyzing each mesh separately. So like before, what we do is we will write the equation. Okay, so I hope you know already how to write the equations. So we are applying Kirchhoff's voltage law to each mesh and we will write the equation. So the equation corresponding to the first mesh is given like this. Okay, I'm not going into the details because you already know how to write the equation. And this is the equation corresponding to mesh 2 and this is the equation corresponding to mesh 3. Okay, so if you see these three equations, you can see like we are grouping the terms. That is, we are putting I1 terms together, I2 terms together. See, I1 terms, I2 terms, then I3 terms. Okay, because in the first equation there is no I3 term. And if you see the third equation corresponding to mesh 3, you can see here there is no term corresponding to the current I1, only I2 and I3 are there. And this can actually be expressed in a matrix form, that is R into I is equal to V. So using this general form, we can express these three equations in matrix. So this is what is shown here. So which are the three currents which we are using here? Because there are three meshes, so we have taken three currents I1, I2 and I3. Okay, and for in each mesh we have to write the resistance terms. So let's see the first, that is the first equation corresponding to mesh 1. Okay, we will see which are the terms coming for I1, I2, I3. Okay, so this is actually the resistance terms corresponding to mesh number 1 that we will see how we are writing. See the first equation. If you see the first equation, it is I1 into R1 plus R2. Okay, so that means the resistance corresponding to I1 is R1 plus R2. Okay, so R1 plus R2 into I1. That is the first term of the first equation. Now let's see the second term, minus I2 into R2. So the resistance term corresponding to current I2 is minus R2. See here, minus R2. Minus R2 is corresponding to I2. I will just draw something like this. Just one second. R1 plus R2 corresponding to I1 minus R2 corresponding to I2, and there is no term corresponding or no resistance term for current I3, that is why we are taking it 0. Okay, so this represents equation number 1 for the mesh 1. Now let's see the second equation. Okay, in the second equation, what is the first term? That is the resistance term corresponding to current. The resistance term corresponding to current I1 is R2. So we will see here it is R2. This is corresponding to the current I1. Now what is the resistance term corresponding to current I2 from the second equation? R2 plus R3 plus R4. See here, R2 plus R3 plus R4. So this is the resistance term in the second equation corresponding to current I2. Now what about the resistance term corresponding to current I3? It is minus R3. Sorry, here it is minus R4. See here, minus R4. So that is written here, minus R4. So we got the equations, the resistance terms corresponding to the first two equations. Now if you see the third equation, there is no resistance term corresponding to current I1. Okay, that is why it is coming here as 0. Okay, so what is the resistance term corresponding to current I2? You can see here, it is minus R4. So that is written here, minus R4. Then the resistance term corresponding to I3 is R4 plus R5. Okay, so these are the resistance terms. Now what about the voltage terms? Let's see the first mesh or first equation. From the first equation, we will get V1 is the voltage source. See here, for the second mesh, there is no voltage source, so it is taken as 0. That can be easily understood if you see the circuit. See, second mesh, there is no voltage source. So that is why in the matrix we write it as 0. So first is V1, second is V0. Now what about the third mesh voltage source? It is taken as minus V2, not as V2. Why? So let's see the circuit again. If you see here, the current is flowing like this, right? The current I3 is flowing like this, but as per the active sign convention of EMF of V2, the current should flow like this. So it is exactly opposite, right? So the as per the active sign convention of the EMF V2, current has to follow this direction, but if you see, you assumed it in the opposite direction. So that case, you have to write it as minus V2. Okay, so this is actually the matrix. It is R into I is equal to V. Okay. Now in general terms, we can just write this matrix in again in a very simple manner like this. That is, this is the general matrix form for a three mesh network. Okay, there are three meshes in a circuit. You can write it like this. That is R11, R12, R13, then that is corresponding to the first mesh, resistance terms corresponding to the first mesh, this into I1, I2, I3. Similarly, R21, R22, R23. This is the resistance matrix corresponding to mesh number 2. Again, this also for I1, I2, I3. Similarly, this is the resistance matrix for the third mesh. And here the variables are, current variables are I1, I2, I3 and the voltage variables are V1, V2, V3. Now if you have M meshes, then how you will write? M number of meshes, it will be like this. That is, this is for mesh 1, this is for mesh 2, this is for mesh 3 and this is for mesh M. It is like R11 first mesh, R21 second mesh, R31 third mesh, like that. Okay, and the current also I1 to IM, voltage V1 to VM. So this is not very easy to, this is not very, sorry, this is not that difficult to write the in matrix form. It is rather very easy. Okay, that we will see. So what is this resistance? So when you see this, you will be thinking what is this resistance R11. Then you can see here R22. Then you can see R33. Then again you can see R12, R13. What is the meaning of this? Okay, so that we have to understand. This R11 means it is the sum of the resistances. Okay, the sum of the resistance through which the current I1 is flowing. Okay, similarly R22 is the sum of the resistances through which the current I2 is flowing, and R33 is the sum of the resistance through which the current I3 is flowing. Okay, then what about R12? R1 is the resistance through which both current 1 and 2 are flowing. Okay, and if they are flowing in the same direction, you will take it as positive, and if they are flowing in different direction, you will take it as negative. Okay, similarly R13 is the resistance through which the current 1 and 3 are flowing. So you can easily that you can make it out because R13. 1 3 means current 1, current 3. Current 1, current 3. Okay. So R13 is a resistance through which current I1 and I3 are flowing. They're the same direction positive, opposite direction negative. Similarly, you can take this R21. So R21 will be same as R12. Okay. And R31 will be same as R13. So it is very easy. Okay. And then we have to write the voltage sources also. So you will understand this better when we do one problem. Okay. So got it? That is R11. So let's just see the other conventions used. That is I have written here R33, R11, R12. It is the R11 means it is the sum of the resistance through which the current I1 passes. So you can easily remember like that. Okay. And R22 is the sum of the resistance through which current I2 passes. Similarly R33. Then R12, as I told you, sum of the resistance through which current 1 and 2 passes, and if it is same, current is taken as, if it is same, the sign of that resistance will be taken as positive. Now, if through the resistance, if current I1 and I2 are flowing in the opposite direction, then you will write the sign of R12 as negative. Okay, what about the voltage? That is, as I told, a voltage will be taken as positive for rise in potential along the current path. That is, when you are having a voltage source, you see the sign convention. Okay. So as per the sign convention, if the you see the direction of the current. So if the direction of the current flowing from the EMF, if it is same as that of the direction of the mesh current, you will take it as positive. Otherwise, you have to take it as negative. Okay. Then next step is like this. So you have written, you have got this particular matrix. Then how you will find the value of I1, I2, I3? That is the question. And this particular matrix, that is R1, R11, R12, R13, etc., etc., R1M, R21, R22, R23, etc., etc., R2. This matrix you call it as resistance matrix. We can actually find the value of current I1, I2, I3 up to Im using the following steps. So first you have to find the determinant of that resistance matrix, which you call it as delta R. So step is very simple. So in order to find the current I1, the equation is delta 1 by delta R. What is delta R? Delta R is actually the determinant of the resistance matrix. So what is the resistance matrix? R11. So here we are going to consider only three measures. So it will be R11, R12, R13, R21, R22, R23, R31, R32, R33. Okay, so you learned also how to get the values of these resistances. Okay, so this determinant delta R first you have to find. Then how will you get this delta 1? For that, what you have to do is you have to replace the first column. First column of the resistance matrix, you will replace it with the voltage matrix. See here. Okay, then you will find the determinant of this delta 1, delta R, divide it, you will get the value of I1. Okay, so that is how you will find the current I1 in mesh 1. Now let's see how you will find for current I2. So in order to find the value of current I2, the equation is delta 2 by delta R. So delta R, you know, that is delta means this is determinant of R. Okay, so what you will do is you will find the determinant of that you have to find only one time. Then how will you find this the determinant of mesh 2 or delta 2? You are replacing the second column of the resistance matrix with the voltage terms. Okay, you will find this determinant, divide it, you will get the value of current I2. Then what about I3? Very simple, no? You will be replacing the third column. See here, you are replacing the third column of the resistance matrix by voltage terms. You will find the determinant. Then you will divide it by the determinant of the resistance matrix. You will get the value of current I3. So it is very simple, no? First you have to write the matrix, that is R into I is equal to V, where R is the resistance matrix, I is the current matrix, V is the voltage. So if you want to find the current I1, first you have to find the determinant of the resistance matrix. Then for current I1, it is delta 1 by delta R. That is delta 1, how you will get, you will replace the first column of the resistance matrix by the voltage term. That you will get a better understanding when we try to work out this problem. So just you will try to go through one very simple problem. Here you can see a circuit. So I have marked the values of the current I1, I2, I3. Now I am not going to write any equation. Straight away I am going to write the matrix. So I1, I2, I3. There are three currents, and all the three currents I have assumed to flow in the clockwise direction. Okay. So now this is the general expression for which uh, mesh network. This is the general expression. Okay. Now let's try to find the value of this I1, I2, I3. We don't know. First we will try to find the value of R11. I got it as 10. How did you get the 10? We will see. R11 is the sum of the resistance through which the current I1 is flowing. So see here the current I1, it is flowing through 3 ohms, 4 ohms, 3 ohms. So 3 plus 4 plus 3, what is that? 10. So R11 we got it as 10. Okay. Then R12. So R12, how will you get the value of R12? Just to see the resistance through which both current I1 and I2 are flowing. You can see here I1 is flowing like this and I2 is flowing like this. So the resistance is 4 ohms, and you can see here I1 is in this direction and I2 is in the opposite direction. That means you have to take the sign as negative. So it will be minus 4. So R12 will be minus 4. See here R12, this is R11, this is R12. So R12 is taken as minus. It is same as R21. Okay, so it is minus because the current is, both the currents are flowing in the opposite direction. Now let's find this term. This is R13. So let's see the resistance through which both current I1 and I3 are flowing. So that is which resistance? I1 and I3. So that is this 3 ohms. See here, I1 is flowing like this, I3 is flowing like this. Again, both are in opposite direction. So it will be minus 3. See here. So R13 will be same as R31. Both are same. Okay. Similarly, you can find the other terms also. Now, what is this? 8. 8 is R22. R22 is what? The sum of the resistance through which the current I2 is flowing. Let's see that. So, you can see the current I2. The current I2 is flowing through 2 ohms. 2 ohms. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 4, 8. So that is how you got it as 8. What about R33? 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3. Okay. So that is what? 9. So like that you will get it as 8, 9. Okay. So this is 2, 1, 2 to 2, 3. That is resistance through which currents 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are flowing through which resistance? You can see here 2 ohms. This one, 2 ohms. Okay, like that you can write the equations. Sorry, the matrix terms. So you will get the resistance matrix. Okay, and then you have the current matrix. What about the voltage matrix? If you see the meshes here, you can see that there is only one voltage or one EMF, that is 10 volt. And if you see the direction, you can see that current I1 is flowing like this. We have assumed the direction of current I1 like this. And if you consider the active sign convention of the EMF, there also the current is like this. So that means both are same, so you can take it as positive. Okay, so that is why we are taking the voltage term as 10. So it is very easy to get the this particular matrix. Just you don't have to write any equations. By just going through the network very easily, you can find the you can find the resistance matrix as well as the current and voltage voltage terms. A very important thing is that you have to be very thorough with the active and passive sign convention. That is, if you go wrong in that, then you will make everything wrong. Okay, so that part you have to be very careful. Okay, so then okay, after we got the resistance matrix, we have to find the determinant. So we are going to find the determinant delta R. That means determinant of this particular matrix. Then we can find delta 1 for that we will replace this particular column by 10 0 0. Okay, then delta 1 by delta R will give the value of current I1. Then how will you find I2? Delta 2 by delta R. So how will you find delta 2? You have to replace the second column by the voltage terms 10 0 0. Okay, so like that we can find delta R. So you should know how to find the determinant. That is, how will you find the determinant? That I have written in detail how you find the determinant. That is the first term into. So when you are considering this term, you cancel these two and cross multiply. Okay, so like that you have to find the determinant of the resistance matrix. Then you have to find delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, and after that you can find the values of I1, I2 and I3. Okay, so this is called mesh analysis using matrix method, which is a very simple method. That is, by looking at the circuit itself, you can write the expression in the form matrix R, which is called the resistance matrix, into the current matrix equal to V. Okay, so this is a very simple method. We don't have to write any complicated equations. The only thing is that you should be thorough with the only point you have to keep in mind is like if when you are taking or when you are writing the terms for the resistance matrix, if the current that which you are assumed is in opposite, you have to take it as minus, otherwise it will be positive. And also you have to be very careful in writing the voltage terms also, just to see the active convention, sign convention of the EMF source, and also see if it is in the same direction as that of the current flowing through the meshes. Okay.